With mass movements taking to the streets in the age of digital media, we have all been witness to individuals behaving in a striking way when they are in a crowd. At times reckless beyond good judgment, at moments vile beyond human decency, and at others valiant to the point of self-sacrificing. What causes people to visit the boldest spectrums of human behavior? How does the everyman suddenly become a follower, a hero, or a fanatic? And can a person be all of those things all at once? The answer may lie in crowd psychology. Gustave Le Bon, a French polymath whose work on the topic was studied by figures ranging from Theodore Roosevelt to Benito Mussolini to Vladimir Lenin, made a number of important observations in his pioneering work, The Crowd, a study of the popular mind, in 1895. Here are its 3 key insights, still very much relevant today. First, Le Bon observed that human beings are not behaviorally consistent.
Is the capital of North Dakota Bismarck?
It is? I don't believe it.
As he noted, it is only in novels that individuals are found to traverse their whole life with an unvarying character. In other words, a person behaves differently in different environments. You can observe this in everyday life. Have you ever noticed that you experience stronger feelings in groups? If watching a stand-up comedy act by yourself on an iPad only causes you to smile a few times, watching the same routine with a few friends on the couch may make you all chuckle out loud. And if you had all gone to a packed club to see the same show, you would probably all laugh until your stomachs hurt and you couldn't breathe. Given that people behave differently in different contexts, Le Bon set out to discover what human beings do in crowds that they don't do as individuals. The second insight from the book is that crowds are animated by common beliefs. As Le Bon wrote, an individual may accept contradiction and discussion, but a crowd will never do so. The reason why crowds impose shared ideas on people is due to a phenomenon that he called contagion, or the tendency of people to imitate one another when they are in a crowd. Much as they do in everyday life, humans mimic what is influential in their proximity, whether it be matters of opinion, tastes in food, or even styles of dress. How else did people simultaneously embrace bell-bottom jeans in the 1970s, high-rise jeans in the 80s, and baggy jeans in the 90s? Of course, contagion is not limited to trivial matters. According to Le Bon, when contagion seizes people, they become suggestible. That is, it is easier for an idea to penetrate a person when he is motivated to conform than when he is on his own. Under the social pressures of a crowd, humans tend to be less critical of new proposals than they would be as independent individuals who have the freedom to think deeply about issues. And when people do not treat ideas skeptically, they are vulnerable to manipulation. Exaggerated claims, excessive emotion, and progressive escalation. The majority of a crowd may not have signed up initially to smash windows. But if one person smashes a window, a few more might follow, which normalizes window smashing to the rest of the group, which leads to more window smashing and perhaps something worse. In these photos of the 2021 Capitol riot, many rioters appear to have become so desensitized to the nature of their crimes that the gravity of the situation was entirely lost on them. From kicking their feet up on desks to showing off looted artifacts, they appeared to be thoroughly enjoying themselves. A third and related point in Le Bon's book is that the crowd causes people to disregard consequences of personal actions. Sometimes due to anonymity and sometimes due to a crowd's weight of numbers, a person acquires what Le Bon described as a sentiment of invincible power, which allows him to yield to instincts which, had he been alone, he would have kept under restraint. You will rarely see a lone man on the sidewalk start a fistfight with a police officer, but when there are hundreds or thousands of men together in one place who outnumber law enforcement by an order of magnitude, the worry of individual accountability dissipates, the confidence of strength in numbers builds, and previously unthinkable actions become very possible. If people are easily persuaded to do terrible things, copy each other who do terrible things, and carry out those terrible actions without fear due to numbers or anonymity, the crowd may appear inherently destructive. Yet Le Bon argued that crowds are not intrinsically good or evil. To him, a crowd is as easily heroic as criminal, and that the manifestation of its character depends entirely on the nature of the suggestion to which the crowd is exposed. When used for virtuous aims, crowd psychology is a powerful catalyst for progress. In Le Bon's words, it is crowds rather than isolated individuals that may be induced to run the risk of death to secure the triumph of a creed or an idea. Such heroism is without doubt somewhat unconscious, but it is of such heroism that history is made. Indeed, the features of the crowd can multiply humanity's virtues just as it magnifies man's shortcomings. Unity takes the place of groupthink, role models replace mere trendsetters, and selflessness appears instead of recklessness. In short, the whole can become greater than the sum of its parts. The nonviolent movements of the past 100 years are testament to the force of crowds. Facing ferocious, oftentimes lethal resistance, it is difficult to imagine how human beings could have peacefully endured such opposition without the courage, conviction, and comfort that numbers provide. Without the crowd's influence on human psychology, the very existence of mass movements may not be possible. Le Bon, however, is not right about everything. As a man of the 19th century, he carries much of the era's intellectual baggage on race and gender. But I believe that his key insights on how humans behave differently when they are in a pack than they do as individuals still resonates today. Moreover, Le Bon developed his ideas as reflections on his own era's rapid technological, social, and ideological change. The working conditions of the Industrial Revolution laid the intellectual foundations of communism, while the allure of nationalist philosophy undermined dynastic allegiance to Europe's multi-ethnic empires. Crowds are at the peak of their influence in tumultuous times because it is during such times that people question existing dogma, and when ideas spread instantly around the world and directly to people, as they do today, one does not have to be part of a physical gathering to be part of a crowd. This ends our discussion on crowd psychology. I hope this video has allowed you to see human nature, human beings, and human events in a new way. If you would like to learn more, please subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, this is Well-Timed Thoughts, where we apply classic, foundational ideas to inform the world we live in today. Please support our mission, and we will see you next time.